Hello, public speaking. This is Mr. Burke coming to you live from my house. Get ready to do a lot of this as we move to distance learning. Should be wild. Excited to have one more week of class in person with you. If this is the day that you're not in class, this is a video you should be watching. We're talking about annotated bibliographies. So, at this point, you should have your research done. You should have 5 articles in Noodle Tools. You should have note cards completed for each of those sources that you imported to Noodle Tools. The idea being that you've read every article that you've pulled, and you now have your question answered. Okay, your research question should be answered. If I was doing my research topic on how to cook a Thanksgiving turkey, after reading 5 articles, annotating them, and coming up with notes, I should know the answer to my question. What you need to do now is demonstrate your research. Share with the class or with your teacher, which is me, that you did your research. And we do that using an annotated bibliography. What it does is it allows us to share where we got all of our information from so that we become credible as a speaker on the topic. Remember, last speech, it was in non-researched informative. So that meant you had some level of knowledge of your topic already. This one, you might know some things, but you don't know everything. And so as you did your research, you should have learned more and more. And all that is going to make you more of an authority on the topic than you were when you started, which is what an annotated bibliography is for. So if you can see on this video, I'm on the Purdue Owl's online writing lab, the Purdue Owl, right? And they're basically the go-to for how to write anything, how to format anything, any type of academic writing you're going to do. Use the Purdue Owl as your reference. So when I come here and look how to make an annotated bibliography, it's going to walk me through it. Here's the key. You can make a bibliography in Noodle Tools. That's a list of sources. It's easy to do. Okay, now that you have your sources in Noodle Tools, you just file export right into Google Docs. You've got all your citations in a row, perfectly formatted to MLA style. So that's the bibliography part. It's really easy. Okay, because you already have the source information. The difference between an annotated bibliography and a regular bibliography is the second part of the assignment. An annotation is a summary and evaluation of the source. So an annotated bibliography is the citation information with an annotation or a summary / evaluation of the source that you read. It's not a place to share facts from the article. It's not a place to put your quotes in. All it is you summarizing what you learned, what you read in that article. So there are 3 components. 3 components to an annotated bibliography annotation. The first thing, you obviously are going to have the citation. Then you're going to write something. You're going to write a 3-part summary evaluation of the source. The first part is a summary. Okay? A summary just says what are the main topics covered. What's the point? What are the things? If somebody said, hey, what was that article about? What would you tell them? All I need from you in this part is 2 sentences at a minimum saying, hey, here's what this article is about. Here's what was in it. The second part is an assessment. So now you're going to judge the source. You're going to state why it's a good source. What made you pull this source and not another source? Things that you could include are that it's from a database, that it has an author who has some sort of credibility, whether they're like a researcher, an expert. In my case, I would put that they're a chef. If I'm doing Thanksgiving turkeys, this person's got 15 years worth of cooking Thanksgiving turkeys. They're probably pretty credible at that point, or they're a chef, or they're a researcher, whatever, right? But you talk about the credibility of the article in terms of where it's from, the stuff that's in it, does it cite other articles? This is where you went through the process to evaluate, is the source worthy of me including it in my research? And your answer was yes. If you put it in there, you just have to say why. The next part is a reflection. And back to assessment. This can be 2 sentences as well. So you have a 2-sentence summary, you have a 2-sentence assessment. The last thing is the reflection. What is this article doing in your annotated bibliography? Why are you using it? Did it help you learn about one part of your topic? Was it helpful for something different? Are you going to put it in a main point? Are you going to use a quote? Why? What quote are you going to use? All of that sort of thing. You're just explaining to the reader what the purpose of that specific article is to your own research. So that's 2 sentences as well. So basically, you write 2-sentence summary, 2-sentence assessment, 2-sentence reflection. It's a 6-sentence paragraph that goes directly underneath your annotation or your citation. The reason why we do this is to help you learn and share that you've learned about your topic. I kind of already talked about that, but it's basically making you an authority. If you can present this annotated bibliography with your speech, your listener will understand that you know what you're talking about. As far as the format goes, the format is MLA formatted style, which means basically that you have a paragraph, form, summary, evaluation, reflection. You don't put a bold summary and then type summary. You just write it as a paragraph. I'm not going to spend a ton of time on the format because I'm going to show you in another video how to do this in Noodle Tools. So for now, just remember, an annotated bibliography includes a bibliography, and it includes an annotation underneath it written in paragraph form. You summarize for 2 sentences, assess for 2 sentences, and then reflect on the purpose or the usefulness of that particular source for your research. So you're going to do that 5 times, 1 for each article. That's going to go in a Google Doc, and you'll submit that by the end of the week. See you soon.